Peekaboo, guess who? That's right, I want to talk to you today. Happy New Year, everyone, for everyone who's watching us today, and welcome to 2021, especially on the very first Monday and the very first day of our CU Info Week for this year. We have so many amazing things planned out for everyone who wants to know just a teensy beansy little bit more about our amazing university. It is, after all, Canada's capital university. So thanks everyone for joining me here today. My name is Jalil Alab. I'm a recruitment officer for Carleton University. So a little bit about me and my background is that I'm actually here from Ottawa, the city of Ottawans. So I actually grew up here in the nation's capital, and I came to Carleton first in 2015, where I did my degree in biomedical and electrical engineering, hence the engineering ring. And then I'm still actually continuing with my studies in a second degree in Bachelor of Arts Honors Religion. So I kind of know many things from the engineering aspect and also the arts and social sciences aspect. And there's actually so much more information today that we want to cover with all of you today, especially for some of the most salient points that any applicant should know when they're going to apply to university. So at this stage, some of you may have already applied to Carleton. Others may still be, considering applying to Carleton in the next year if you're perhaps in grade 11. But no matter what stage you're at, we definitely hope today's presentation will be able to help you learn a little bit more about what our university is all about and why you definitely need to locate us on the map of opportunities of where you want to go for post-secondary. So let's start from the very basics. Carleton University is located here in the city of Ottawa on the traditional unceded territories of the Algonquin Nation. At Carleton, we decided to enact a strategy called the Keenamagawin strategy, which basically means learning together. This is a strategy with 41 different calls to action to make sure that our university is able to provide the proper services for all of our students, staff, and faculty of Indigenous heritage, and to make sure that everyone on our campus is able to know, honor, and cherish this incredible background that our university has on this land. Now, you can definitely take a look at how amazing the campus actually looks like with this incredible glamour shot that we have of the entire Carleton University campus. So Carleton is a really amazing type of area for anyone to go to for university, because we have pretty much every single thing that's related to the university located on this nice, cozy, self-enclosed area. So the Carleton campus is located about 10 to 15 minutes away from the downtown core of Ottawa. So the downtown core of Ottawa is over where my mouse is on the top left-hand side if you just follow that road. And we're located right between the Rideau River and the Rideau Canal. Within the Carleton campus itself, there are three major areas that you want to be focusing on. The first one, where my mouse is kind of hovering over the bottom of your screen, that's where you want to have the top priorities, even though it's at the bottom of the screen, because that's where you have your academic section. Things like your lectures and your laboratories, all those things are going to be over at the bottom of the screen. The area on the top right-hand side is where we have athletics. So you can kind of make out the football field, the soccer field, and some of the ice skating rinks. All those ways to play sports and to stay fit, those are all located in the second area of athletics. And the final area is on the top left-hand side, and this is actually like super duper convenient, where you have all of our 11 different residence buildings located on the Carleton campus itself. That means you don't need to do a bike ride or a subway ride or a bus ride to go from your dormitory all the way into Carleton. You can literally just step out of your building and you are on the Carleton campus itself. Or you can take another option, and that's to go underground from one building to another. Okay, Carleton's actually really famous throughout Canada because we have over 5 kilometers of underground tunnels that connect every single building on our campus together. You can literally go from point A to point B anywhere on the Carleton campus just by taking the underground heated tunnels. So those are really useful when it's like days in January or February and you want to avoid the snow, then you know where to go. But of course, There's so much more to a university you want to focus on, like the surrounding environment that really gives it its particular vibe. So as I mentioned, on the right-hand side, Carleton is bordered by the Rideau River. This is an incredibly picturesque area where anybody wants to go by the river to study, have a picnic, stay and hang out with friends to study. On the left-hand side, that's where we have the world-famous UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Rideau Canal, which runs all the way into the downtown core of the city. Fun fact, during the winter, it can actually sometimes be faster to skate from Carleton all the way into downtown via the Rideau Canal than it is to drive. Don't believe me? Come to Carleton and check it out yourselves. Now, the final area is on Bronson Avenue, which is on the top of the screen. If you take Bronson Avenue over to the left, that's how you are able to see things like the Parliament buildings, the National Art Gallery, the Supreme Court of Canada, Byward Market. All those amazing areas in downtown Ottawa are like 10 to 15 minutes away via car, only 7 minutes if I run. Now, on the top right-hand side, if you continue Bronson Avenue on the other way, you're able to go to the Ottawa International Airport, which is our gateway to the rest of the world. You're going to notice that these themes are really coming up to be able to inform our value propositions. So at Carleton, we have really three major goals that we want to accomplish. So using our knowledge to shape the future the same way that the Rideau Canal has shaped the city of Ottawa. And because we're located right between the downtown core of a G7 capital and an international airport, we want to help everyone domestically and internationally with the incredible alumni who we produce. And finally, just as how the Rideau Canal gives you a nice area to sit down and relax in near the environment, we want to focus on wellness, not just for ourselves, but also for our surrounding environment. That's why we have things like wellness programs and why we are one of the most sustainable universities in the entire country. Now, those things are really going to be coming up in today's 5 major salient points that we really want to cover. So first of all, the first thing that we want to dive right into is our programs. Of course, a university is an institution of higher education. So we want to look at all the different things that you're able to study out of high school in terms of our bachelor's programs. Then we want to help you in terms of financial aid to learn a little bit more about our scholarship programs and our bursaries to be able to finance your academic career. In the middle, we have the dogs who are able to represent what we have everything in terms of extracurricular activities. So whether it's doing clubs or societies or just going and seeing, the fun things happening on campus, we want to let you know about all of them. On the top right-hand side, you can see some incredible fruits and vegetables. Those are from the residence cafeteria because we definitely want to give you some food for thought when we talk about how it is to be a resident student at Carleton and to live on our campus. And finally, everyone's going to be cheering Go Ravens when we finish off this presentation by covering things from athletics, not only how you can be a student, athlete, but also how you can just come and show your Carleton University Ravens pride at some of our amazing games. Now you may be thinking, but Joel, that seems like a lot of things. Is that the only way we can learn about all this incredible information just through today's presentation? There's so many more opportunities for you to stay connected with us. So in the previous semester, so many students connected with us on the Live at 5 presentations that happen on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. You can definitely go back on our website and check some of those out to learn about in-depth topics on, awards or athletics or residence. My colleague, Stanley Philippe, he also had the Talking Raven podcast with some incredible guests from Carleton that he was able to talk with to really get their own experiences of what it's like to be on our campus. And something that's continuing today and throughout the rest of the week and in the future is our Future Raven coffee breaks. So these are areas where you can sign up on our website to have one-on-one conversations with members of the recruitment team like me to be able to learn about in-depth information about programs, about services, or what it's just like to be a Carleton student. You don't even have to wait until later to be able to hear from our team. As a matter of fact, they're on standby right now in the live Q&A, and they're able to answer any questions that you have at the moment. So as you're going through the presentation, if anything really interesting comes up, you can definitely be sure to pop a question in the live Q&A. So without further ado, let's dive right into our programs and services. So at Carleton, we have 5 different faculties, 5 alive, and those are the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, Public Affairs, Engineering and Design, Science, and the Faculty of Commerce or Business. Every faculty groups together different programs that are really related to each other. So in the first Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, this is where I'm doing my second degree in Arts Honors Religion. The arts aspect actually has more than 35 different majors that students can partake in, like political science or for example, history and things like that. There are so many other opportunities in this program as well, and these programs really focus on understanding about how you can achieve a scientific view and comprehension of human interactions, especially through the lens of the humanities, the liberal arts, and the fine arts. There are opportunities for small classroom discussion, which we really value, things in our first year seminar sessions that people can partake in. Of course, there are definitely opportunities for you to take your education outside of the campus itself, as my colleague and friend on the right-hand side did. So my friend here, he basically did his program in global and international studies, specifically within focusing on Indigenous relations. And so basically he was able to go at the United Nations Permanent Forum with the president of the UN present at the meeting, and he was able to give his own topics and understandings of basically how he had some opportunities to enhance Indigenous relations throughout the world. So this is just one of the examples that you can take while you're in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. You're going to notice that these programs are really closely related with our second Faculty of Public Affairs. So within Public Affairs, people want to take an understanding of how the political world, the judicial world, and of course the world of economics are really affected by power structures and different organizations. So I'd like to point out some of the really unique programs that really Carleton's able to offer to our students. We have the only specific Bachelor of Economics program within the entire country. Our journalism program is the oldest and best developed one in all of Canada. Everyone recognizes it as the best. And of course, if you're interested in things like public affairs and policy management, then you want to do what my friend Ben did, and that's able to be a member of the House of Commons page program and maybe even to work with a member of parliament. So Ben was part of the program of public affairs and policy management, which allows students to be able to understand not only how rules and regulations are made, but also how they're implemented, especially at the federal level. So being a Carleton student, he's able to work 10 minutes away at Parliament Hill with a member of parliament and in the House of Commons. These are unique opportunities that you really want to stay in Ottawa for and go to Carleton for, because there's only one nation's capital in all of Canada, only one G7 capital in Canada. And so all these incredible opportunities to go to things like embassies, the headquarters of so many different government organizations, they're all located within the city. But it's not just politics and things related to government that Ottawa is famous for, because that leads us into our third Faculty of Engineering and Design. This is where I got my first degree from in 2019 in Biomedical and Electrical Engineering. So the Faculty of Engineering and Design has 2 major aspects to it. In the engineering aspect, there are 13 different streams that students can partake in. All of them are direct entry in first year, all of them offer co-op, and all of them are fully accredited. They range from very traditional mechanical and civil engineering to a lot of really specialized and niche programs that are kind of hard to find literally anywhere else. Things like the only Bachelor of Communications Engineering program in the entire country, one of the very few specific aerospace engineering programs, and my own program of Biomedical and Electrical Engineering. Within the design side, students are able to take that math and science knowledge and then combine it and mix it along with some artistic elements. So that's why you're able to take that knowledge and do studios like in architecture or industrial design or interactive multimedia and design, which is within information technology. The last one of media production and design is a really cool program because it takes the best of both worlds. You get that journalism and communication studies knowledge along with the tech knowledge of how to actually take these narratives and put them on a platform. So you're able to get all this incredible information mixed together in the media production and design program. Now, as you can kind of tell from the students in the image working on one of their automated cars, this faculty has a lot of hands-on opportunities. And so being an engineering grad, I can definitely go and share about some of my own. So when I was in fourth year, everyone in engineering has to do their fourth year final capstone project. And so being in biomedical engineering, my two friends and I decided to get together and make a new and improved version of the Fitbit. So the Fitbit is like a watch that people have, like kind of like an Apple Watch that you wear on your wrist to have biometric signals like from your heart rate or things like this. We wanted to make a different version that would be able to go on your wrist than to have it connected with a mobile app. So you could be able to see the graph of like your blood pressure and stuff like that going on along with other tips. So we decide to get down to it. It's early in September. We make our plan, we get the components, and we start building it. It's not like IKEA that doesn't have any instructions. You got to read all the technical details and put it together. And it's in January. And we realized the deadline to present everything is in March. But the problem was it was January, halfway through the year, and our project, it didn't work. That's because it had some component problems. We weren't sure what to do, and we started becoming really scared of like how we're finally going to be able to present this to everyone and all of our professors. But thankfully, the Carleton University professors are incredibly helpful. They were able to show us some of the flaws in our design, help us make new component designs, get it approved. We made a new draft, put the new components together, and guess what? We were finally able to present our version of the new and improved Imperiarm with its companion mobile app to everyone within Carleton University and to our professors as well. Now, this is really closely related with our other faculty of the Faculty of Science. So the Faculty of Science at Carleton and actually in all of Ottawa is very research intensive. So people want to make new breakthroughs in all the different disciplines within science. So the general science heading has things like biology, chemistry, earth science, things like that. Now, we also have specific departments for mathematics if people love statistics or actuarial science, health sciences if you want to perhaps go off into medical school, and of course computer science because that is extremely popular nowadays, and we have one of the oldest departments teaching computer science in actually all of Canada. So whereas there are about like 2,000 to 3,000 different firms of engineering within the city of Ottawa because it's the tech capital of Canada. Within science, there are actually so many opportunities for research as well within the city, like in the National Research Council, the Department of National Defense, and actually on Carleton itself. Oh yeah, take the example of my colleague Celine, who did her program in biochemistry. While she was still doing her bachelor's degree, she was able to work with one of our professors doing some work in biochemistry. And later, she realized that her work actually got published. The work that she did as a bachelor's student was able to get published, and other professional scientists were able to look at that and benefit from some of the studies that she was able to partake in. Now, if someone is really interested in research, there is that option for them. But also if you want to go into industry, like some of the students are doing here in the middle image. So these students are within the Shopify or the Dev Degree program that Carleton has in conjunction with the e-commerce platform in Ottawa of Shopify. So Shopify is actually incredible. It's a platform used by people who like the now richest man in the entire world, Elon Musk, and people like Kylie Jenner. So they're able to go and work at Shopify, which is located in Ottawa, for like 4 years of university, and Shopify is able to help them get tuition covered and things like this. So it's a win-win scenario where you're able to go and work at a very huge firm to help learn about all these amazing things in the discipline of computer science. This leads us into our final faculty, the one that the incredible Carly graduated from. Carly's on the left, and that is the faculty of the Sprott School of Business. And you can see on the left-hand side the outline of the brand new building coming out for this, which is the Nickel building. So you folks could be the very first cohort who goes into this. So many people come and they're like, yo, I love accounting, I love marketing, I love entrepreneurship. Where do I go for that at Carleton? All those different things and more are located under the commerce heading. So you can go into commerce and then take things like accounting, entrepreneurship, finance, and stuff like that. Or you can do what Carly did and take international business. So the students in international business specifically want to look at transnational organizations and how they're able to work, overseas and abroad. So people in this program learn one of 5 new languages. Whether that's French, Spanish, German, Mandarin Chinese, or Japanese, they're able to get some fluency within that program. And in their 3rd year, they're able to go and work in a study abroad program in a different country. So Carly was able to go and do that in Valencia, in Spain, but other people from international business, as you see on the right-hand side, work in a program called From Buckets to Rain Barrels, located in Tanzania, in Africa. So they had a product that they wanted to give to the people living in Tanzania. International business students were the ones doing things like cost analytics, client relationships, and things like that, doing actual international business work in a different country while they were still students at Carleton. All these are so many great opportunities that you absolutely want to take advantage of. Now, going through all the 5 faculties leads us into our next topic. So we know that there are so many opportunities, but some people might be wondering about the associated fees or the associated costs about doing all these opportunities. That's why we want to talk to you now about financial aid, both scholarships and bursaries. So as you can kind of see from the image, last year Carleton offered more than $24 million in scholarships and bursaries last year. So that's like $1 million per hour in one day, or even more. Cha-ching. So let's dive right into them. The first category of our scholarships are the entrance scholarships. These are incredibly easy because you do not even have to apply for them. They're given to you automatically. And basically, we try to describe them using what we call the 3 R's. So first of all, these are reviewable, meaning if you get an offer, let's say, for example, now in January, and you're able to improve your average throughout the rest of grade 12, you are able to increase your admissions average because we review it at multiple stages. The second thing is that these are renewable. Entrance doesn't mean it's limited to your first year. It means you have that amount, for example, 1 to 4,000 within the first year. And if you're able to maintain that annual GPA of 10.0, which corresponds to 80% in university, then you're able to renew that up to all 4 years of university. And the final R is that these things are renewable. In the event that someone, for example, unfortunately falls below the minimum 80% in 1 year, they do lose the scholarship for that year. But if they get back on track in the subsequent year, guess who shows up? That's right, the entrance scholarship. So that's why these are incredibly useful, and you definitely want to look into them. The second category, though, are scholarships that you do need to apply for, and these are the prestige scholarships. So these range from $20,000 up to full tuition for all 4 years of university, but they do require a higher admissions average and to be doing things in your community. Since it's January right now, please be mindful of the March 1st deadline because you do need to apply for these. They're not given out automatically. So you can learn more about this information at carleton.ca on the awards page. Now, whereas these scholarships are given based on like how well you do in school, the bursaries are given based on financial need. So the 2 categories are the entrance bursary and the leadership bursary. The leadership bursary can give you a much higher amount, but it also requires students to be doing things like in terms of extracurriculars. So extracurriculars are things that, are not just limited to high school to get into Carleton or to get one of these scholarships. They continue right into post-secondary because we have such a huge emphasis on community. So many people are like, man, I cannot wait to go into university and see the real world adult life of being able to go and involved in studies. So at Carleton, the opportunities are numerous. I mean, like when you have people from over like 150 different countries in a mid-sized campus of 30,000 above students, there are so many opportunities to get involved in clubs and societies. So many of the clubs are things that are really recreational, things like grilled cheese club or anime club or things like that. And then many of the societies are really focused on academics, like to help boost your career. Things like the Pre-Medical Society, Model United Nations, people who are interested in some of the engineering societies to meet professors and people from industry. These are really some of the great ways to be able to stay connected and network, because that's such an important skill at university. Then there are other things that the university itself is able to provide to our students. Platforms like the therapy dogs, who they're really popular. Many students love to go and see them during their office hours, to meet them, to chill, to relax, to chillax altogether, and opportunities like Shinerama, which is a great way to get involved in a fun opportunity and raise money for cystic fibrosis. Now, for some people, that's really just not enough. They love the classwork, they love the work outside of the classwork, but when it's nighttime, they don't want to go back home. They want to live on campus. And those are the incredible resident students. So as I mentioned, Carleton has 11 different residence buildings on our campus. Out of those 11, 9 of them are guaranteed and reserved just for first-year students who are guaranteed residence, provided that they complete everything by the June deadline. So within the residence lifestyle, there are many different ways to get involved in really unique things for the resident students. You're able to connect with upper year mentors in these red vests who are the dons or the residence fellows who are able to help you transition into the residence life and to be able to know about some of the other events that are happening at any given time. Now, you're not just limited to your dormitory, because there are other ways to get involved in the campus in residence, things like board game nights, being able to go over into the recreational room, the study rooms on different floors as well. So let's talk about the rooms themselves right now. With Carleton, there are 3 different types of rooms that you can have in residence. 80% of the rooms are this traditional double style, as in you sharing the room with one other roommate and you share a bathroom with the 2 people next door. So that's what 80% of the rooms are like. Aside from that, there are also the single rooms and the suite style. Suite style means 4 people living in one general area. So you can meet with your people, your roommates, the people on your floor, go out for a bite to eat, perhaps at the #1 highest rated residence cafeteria in all of Ontario. Where could that be? That's right, the Carleton Residence Caf. This place is amazing. This thing has so many different opportunities. It's all you can care to eat, so all you can eat, but to the amount that you desire. These have areas for students who have gluten-free options, halal options, things like vegetarian options. They spice up the menu, not in terms of spicy food, but spice in terms of the spice of life, diversity, because they mix it up but have all these incredible opportunities for students really to go and have some great lunches. There's everything that you could possibly think of located in there: the cookies, the fruits, the pizza, the deli. If Gordon Ramsay comes to you and says, "Oi, mate, where's the lamb sauce?" you can tell him it's right here in the Carleton Res Cafeteria. Now you can go and burn off all those different calories when you're off and doing things in terms of athletics. So we have a bunch of different sports teams, things at the intramural level and also at the competitive level, and people who want to do semi-pro and pro varsity. So some of our teams are very famous throughout Canada, like the men's basketball team, which has won 15 out of the past 18 championships. Wow. And even in the days that they didn't win, those were the same years that the women's team came out on top. So both the men's and women's teams and all of the sports are at a very high level. Now, some people just want to be able to go with their friends and to actually see some of these incredible events that are taking place on our campus, especially for the big sporting events that occur between Carleton and our friendly rivals across town at the University of Ottawa. So when we play against them in basketball in Capital Hoops, in hockey in the Colonel By Classic, or in football in the Panda game. These are all opportunities for you to go and check out what's happening on our campus and at these big games to show your own Ravens pride. Now, some people want to just stay fit on campus, so that's why I mentioned the area of athletics has these different opportunities for students to have a sound mind within a sound body and to stay healthy. So whether you're swimming laps, pushing weights, skating, or doing all these incredible things, you can definitely do them on the Carleton campus itself. So with that, we've covered the 5 major topics we wanted to go over, things relating to the programs, things relating to the financial services, extracurricular events, residence life, and also athletics. But there's actually just so much more that we still want to go over with you. It's at this point I'd definitely like to tell you a little bit about the Carleton University Viewbook. So you definitely want to go and get one of these incredible resources, 80 pages long with a campus map, information about all the athletics, tuition, things related to the application process, and in-depth knowledge on all the different programs. You can get one of them yourself when you go to 360.carleton.ca. On 360.carleton.ca, you can go and make your own customized account, which is able to track some of the events and specific programs that are really interesting for you. When you do that, you also have the added bonus of getting some potential swag giveaways. So there's no need to mask your feelings. We all know you want a teddy bear to show you care, and everyone wants a hoodie, because the word is, it's a goodie. This brings us now to the end of our presentation just for today. Please remember some of the following last bits of information. If you want to know more about our programs and services and the application process, be sure to go to admissions.carleton.ca and check it out. Of course, make your own customized account to learn more about Carleton at 360.carleton.ca, and be sure to follow us on our social media. The handle is @CarletonFuture. So we'll definitely be having some fun things happening on our Instagram at Carleton Future throughout the rest of the week. You want to go and check out our story and see how you too can win some of our incredible potential swag giveaways as well. Remember that we're still just on day 1 of the week-long CU Info Week, a week where we're going to be having opportunities for students to meet one-on-one with people and our recruitment team via the coffee breaks, being able to learn about your career, your future, parent nights that are going to be happening, and of course, how to apply to university, which is actually happening today at 4 p.m. Now, at this time, we're going to be leaving aside about 10 more minutes. If anyone has any remaining questions, our amazing colleagues on the live Q&A are still ready to be able to answer your questions. So you can definitely go and ask any last minute questions over there to them at the moment. We definitely hope you enjoyed today. Hope to see you today at 4, and hope to see you all at our campus throughout the West through next year, hopefully in fall 2021. See you then. Take care and have a wonderful day.